part of the rush to get this deal done to knock Jeffrey Epstein's story out?
Oh, you got to be kidding with that. No, had nothing to do with it. Only you would think that. That had nothing to do with it.
President Trump responding to that Epstein question yesterday amid discussing trade talks with the EU. That comes as Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche wrapped up 9 hours of meetings over 2 days on Friday with convicted Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell. But as NBC News reports, the meetings remain shrouded in secrecy, with Blanche making no public statements about what she said, nor did he give any details about the next steps in the DOJ's much criticized Epstein investigation. Now, just before leaving for Scotland on Friday, reporters asked President Trump if he was considering a pardon for Maxwell.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if she's cooperating?
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something. It's something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
If you're asking my opinion, I think 20 years was a pittance. I think she should have a life sentence at least. I mean, think of all these unspeakable crimes. And as you noted earlier, probably 1,000 victims. I mean, you know, it's hard to put into words how evil this was, and that she orchestrated it and was a big part of it. At least under the criminal sanction, I think is an unforgivable thing. So, again, not my decision, but I have great pause about that, as any reasonable person would.
So that was, again, Speaker Johnson on Meet the Press yesterday, really breaking with President Trump on the Epstein-Maxwell matter. We'll turn back to the politics of the moment in a second. But joining us first, NBC News senior executive editor for national security, David Rohde, and MSNBC legal correspondent and former litigator, Lisa Rubin. Thanks, guys, for both being here. David, I'll start with you. Just talk to us a little bit more just how unusual the Blanche meeting was with Maxwell and the concerns about the lack of transparency. We've heard nothing about it since it concluded.
So we report on this over the weekend, several of my colleagues, and a senior Justice Department official said a former official said he'd never heard or never seen anything like this, where the number 2 official in the Justice Department goes down, has this meeting. A key question is who is in the room. Normally, you would always want 2 people to be there, 2 people from the prosecution side, because one would be a witness to whatever Ghislaine Maxwell was saying. We can't get an answer from the Justice Department about that. And what's so strange is this, again, lack of transparency when it seems like politically what they need most is transparency. So we have no sense, is he going to meet with her again? What's going to be next? And then there's these, rumors or thoughts of a pardon for her floating around at the same time.
So let's turn to you, Lisa, on that very idea. We heard the reporter's question there about a pardon. Trump certainly didn't deny it. He sort of said, well, I haven't been thinking about it. Who knows if that's true or not. But that is what many have said here, is that perhaps Maxwell could offer, some sort of testimony that would exonerate Trump and then be rewarded.
Well, and in addition to exonerating Trump, the Justice Department itself has painted itself into a box with respect to additional evidence. And I'm just going to read to you now. The July memo that sort of caused all this kerfuffle says unambiguously, we did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. In layman's terms, we didn't find anything that we could use to charge anybody else. So if you're the Justice Department and you've already boasted about doing this 360 review of all of the evidence at your disposal, and not just the grand jury materials, but all the hours of interviews, the videos, etc., what choice do you have but to go to the one other thing that might be out there, the Rosetta Stone, as she was called, of the Epstein investigation, Ghislaine Maxwell? Whether or not she's trustworthy is, of course, a major open question. She herself was charged with 3 counts of perjury for which she was never tried. But the reason that they're going there isn't just to exonerate Trump. It's because any hope of putting this to bed has to come up with something new that they haven't already seen, because they've told the world, we looked at everything and we found nothing.
And you're right to question Maxwell's credibility. The DOJ itself did that all along. So